In feudal Japan, there was a master calligrapher named Hakuin who spent 40 years perfecting a single brushstroke. Not 40 years perfecting calligraphy, 40 years perfecting one stroke. When his students asked why he spent so much time on something so simple, he said something that stopped them completely. The man who masters one thing fully will always defeat the man who knows many things poorly. That sentence contains everything you need to know about mastery. The samurai did not become legends through talent. They became legends through a specific way of thinking about skill, a way that is completely opposite to how most people approach learning today. These three principles work for the sword. They work for business, writing, music, sport, and every other skill worth pursuing. The first principle, shokunin, the way of the craftsman. In Japan, the word shokunin describes a person who has devoted their entire life to one craft. Not because they were forced to, because they chose to pursue one thing with complete and total dedication. The shokunin did not seek variety. They did not jump between crafts when things became difficult or boring. They stayed. They went deeper. They understood that the longer you stay with one thing, the more layers of depth you discover. Layers that most people never reach because they left too early. Most people today do the opposite. They learn a skill for 3 months, feel stuck, and switch to something new. They mistake boredom for a sign that the skill is wrong for them. But boredom is not a warning. Boredom is the door. Behind it is the level of skill that almost nobody reaches, because almost nobody stays long enough to open it. The shokunin mindset asks one simple question: am I going wide or going deep? Going wide feels exciting. Going deep feels uncomfortable. But only depth produces mastery. Apply this today. Choose one skill you are currently developing and commit to it for 1 full year without switching. No matter how uncomfortable it feels, the depth you reach in that year will surprise you. The second principle, SHU HA RI, the 3 stages of learning. The samurai described mastery as a journey through 3 distinct stages. Shu, follow the rules completely. Learn from a master. Do not question the method. Simply do exactly what you are taught, over and over, until it becomes natural. Begin to question. Take what you have learned and test it. Explore the edges. Understand not just what to do, but why it worked. This is where thinking begins. Ri, transcend the rules. At this stage, the technique is no longer something you think about. It flows from you naturally. You no longer follow the form. You have become the form. The problem most people face is that they try to reach Ri without passing through Shu. They want to develop their own style before they have mastered the foundation. They want to break the rules before they understand what the rules are protecting. A student who skips Shu will always have gaps in their skill, gaps they cannot see because they never learned what they do not know. Apply this today. Honestly ask yourself which stage you are in with your current skill. If you have been resisting the fundamentals, return to them. The fastest path to Ri always begins with fully embracing Shu. The third principle, MUSHIN, the empty mind. MUSHIN means no mind. It does not mean thinking nothing. It means a mind so trained that it no longer needs to think. It simply acts. When a samurai first learned a sword technique, he had to think about every movement, where to place his feet, how to angle his wrist, when to strike. The thinking itself slowed him down and created hesitation. But after years of deliberate practice, something shifted. The thinking disappeared. The body moved on its own, faster, cleaner, and more precisely than conscious thought ever allowed. This is MUSHIN, and it is available to anyone in any field. The writer who has practiced so deeply that words flow without effort. The musician whose fingers find the notes before the mind decides. The athlete whose body reacts before the brain catches up. MUSHIN cannot be rushed. It cannot be faked. It is the natural result of enough deliberate repetition that the skill moves from the conscious mind into something deeper. Most people stop practicing long before they reach MUSHIN. They reach a level that feels good enough, and they stay there. But good enough and exceptional are separated by exactly this: the willingness to continue past comfort, past boredom, past the point where most people stop. Apply this today. Identify the part of your skill that still requires conscious effort. That is exactly where your practice needs to focus. Repeat it deliberately until thought disappears and the action becomes automatic. 3 principles. 1 path. Shokunin. Go deep into one thing and stay. SHU HA RI. Respect the stages. Master Master the foundation before you break the rules. MUSHIN. Practice until thinking disappears and the skill simply flows. The samurai did not become masters in a week or a month or a year. They became masters because they refused to stop. Every single day, no matter what. The path to excellence has not changed in 1,000 years. The only question is whether you will walk it. Write in the comments, I will master my craft. Thank you for watching.